Recently we were showing you how to make such cracking balls for ASMR. We were applying several layers of nail polish to them. Today we decided to show you what would happen if you apply 100 layers of nail polish on a ball. Is it possible to crush such a ball at all, or will they be hard as a walnut? And we'll also tell you a secret about how clay popping bursting balls are made with clay for ASMR. Hey, we are lab rats, and here we go! For our experiment today, we will use clay of the brand Soft Clay. It's the one most used for making ASMR balls. We will try to make 2 identical balls. Why exactly 2? You will find out soon. Balls should be as even and smooth as possible. Insert a toothpick into the ball and apply the first coat of nail polish. You should put on gloves for the step, or else you'd stain your hands. We paint the first ball with red nail polish. You should completely cover the entire surface without leaving out any spots, so that the clay doesn't dry out. Then leave the first layer to dry completely. Meanwhile, I'm covering second ball with blue nail polish. It also will need to be perfectly dry before we move any further. Some time has passed and the first layer of nail polish has dried. A red ball weighs 9 grams and the blue weighs exactly the same. Perfect. Time to apply the second coat of nail polish. We are covering the red ball in red again, whereas the blue ball will be coloured with a different colour with each new layer. I am very curious to find out what happens when we crush these balls. The first 10 layers have dried. The surface has become a little smoother, but still far from ideal. Time to find out how much the balls weigh now. The red one weighs 12 grams, whereas the ball with different nail polish colour layers weighs 1 gram more. Why did this happen? Take a guess right now and later we will tell you the correct answer. Meanwhile, we continue to apply new layers of nail polish on the balls. Several days have passed and here you see a ball on which 25 layers of nail polish applied. And such a ball already weighs 15 grams, meaning it became heavier by 6 grams more than at the beginning. The multicoloured ball also became larger and it weighs 19 grams, 4 grams more than red. Well, already guessed why? The hint is right in front of you. A few more days passed and the balls were already 50 layers of nail polish. It is clear how much they differ in sizes. The red ball already weighs 23 grams and the yellow one weighs 32. Such a huge difference. Okay, let me explain why this happens. The fact is that when you cover the ball with a layer of a different colour, the spots you've missed before are clearly visible, so we take more care painting over them. However, when you're painting a ball the same colour over and over again, the spots you missed are not that obvious. Therefore, the varnish tends to be thinner in some places. This is exactly the reason why that ball is lighter, and yes, putting on gloves was a smart decision. When we arrived to the 60th layer with a colour ball, we noticed a risk that could have ruined the entire experiment. The ball has become so heavy that it was about to slide down the toothpick, which would poke through the layers. So the solution we arrived to was to remove the old toothpick and swapped for a new, modified one. We have added to it a stopper made of hot glue. Easy yet effective save. Just make sure to be very careful with hot glue. A couple of days later, the balls already have 75 layers of nail polish on them. That means that only 25 layers separate us from the end of the experiment. The red ball weighs 33 grams now, and the multicoloured one almost 50. Both of them have become quite heavy, but regardless, we continue. And now the work is over. Each of these balls is covered in 100 layers of nail polish. After applying the last coat, we let them dry for another 3 days. 25 bottles of varnish were used, and the process took almost 3 weeks. Last control weighing, in the beginning the red ball weighed 9 grams, and now it came to weigh 43 grams, basically increasing its mass roughly 4 times. The multicoloured ball became as heavy as 66 grams, which is approximately 6 times its initial weight. Now we are carefully pulling the toothpicks out of the balls. The red one gives it up quite easily. And even though there was a stopper hidden in multicoloured ball under layers of nail polish, we still have managed to pull out the toothpick without too much trouble. Before we crash them, let me show you how to make bursting balls from clay. For this experiment we'll need ordinary candles. The harder is the paraffin wax, the better. Break candles into chunks and put them in a glass or metal dish. The wick can be left in for now. Now let's melt it all in a water bath until the paraffin is completely liquefied. Meanwhile the paraffin is being heated, you can make the balls themselves. Clay should be tinted with food colouring. Form a ball from clay and insert a toothpick into it. Carefully take out hot dishes with melted wax. Now you can pull out the wick. Dip the ball in hot wax for a few seconds and pull it out. Paraffin will dry up almost immediately. Next time when the wax has completely cooled down, you should dip it only for a second so that the first layer does not melt. And so forth for about 10 times. If you'd like to make balls of different colours, you'll need to use coloured candles. First we'll remove everything that is not needed. Now they can be chopped and melted in a water bath. Let's speed up the process a bit. When the coloured paraffin is melted, we do the same thing as with basic paraffin. Don't forget to take extra care with it since the molten paraffin is very hot. White paraffin cannot be dyed with ordinary food colouring, as it will not blend well in a greasy fluid. Therefore, it is better to use coloured candles. When the ball cools down completely, you can pull out the toothpick and burst it. The sound can differ. Here go the balls made with green paraffin. They even turned out even cooler. The result depends on the quality of the candle. Now that you know the secret of bursting balls, we'll return to our great experiment. It's time to find out what happened. I cannot believe neither my eyes or ears. It took 3 weeks to make them and the results are so underwhelming. All hope lies in the second ball. Perhaps at least this one will crackle nicely. Unfortunately, the luck has left us during this experiment. Despite the fact that we have left each layer of nail polish to dry out completely before applying the next one, the shell of the ball turned out to be soft. The conclusion to our experiment is that if you want to make some cracking balls, 5 layers are enough. Too many layers of nail polish don't mean better result. On the contrary, they tend to give worse results. You can't even imagine how many interesting experiments we are preparing for you now. In order not to miss them, click on the subscribe button and don't forget to like the video so we know what kind of videos to make in the future. See you soon!